a number of specific standing orders, small insertions were made, or proposed to be made to give effect to the hybrid nature of the sit-ins. So in standing order number 6.1, this speaks to the clerk of Parliament recording the presence of individuals and decisions and so on. There's a proposal to insert in person or virtually, where it says the clerk shall record the names of senators attending in person or virtually, all decisions taken and divisions held, etc. In terms of a quorum, standing order 7.1, which sets the quorum for the Senate, and the proposed amendment is that at 7.1, the quorum shall consist of 9 senators physically present in the chamber, including the senator in the chair, which is what it is now. Goes on at 7.2, however, to say as follows. After the commencement of any sitting of the Senate and of a committee of the whole Senate, a quorum can be made up of a combination of senators attending physically and virtually, so long as the number of senators physically present in the chamber is not fewer than 5. So it sets the parameters, what you need to start and what you need to continue. Standing order 7.3, again, is the matter of drawing attention to whether there's a quorum or not. And if any senator draws attention to the president or to the chairman in committee of the whole Senate to the fact that a quorum is not present, the president or chairman, as the case may be, shall direct the senators to be summoned, including invitations sent electronically as in such form as deemed appropriate by the clerk, as if for a division. And that's to take care of very physically here. And there may not be a quorum or where a decision is to be made, the bell will be rung. So basically having a mechanism that if that is done physically, there's electronic means to alert individuals who may not be at their microphone and camera at that moment that there is a pending matter. Standing order number 8, days and hours of sit-ins, and we're basically inserting hybrid proceedings, where the Senate shall meet in and shall meet in hybrid proceedings on such days and times, etc., etc. Petitions and papers, standing order 13.1. Again, it inserts into the matter of papers, where papers are presented by a minister or parliamentary secretary, and it says either present in the chamber or virtually. So it's essentially adding the virtual component to what already exists in the standing orders as physical. So these are not new standing orders, just looking to see there for clarity. There's a need to ensure that as it's a hybrid meeting, the standing orders reflect most scenarios. And in the standing orders, standing order number 17, the manner of asking and answering questions, and this clarity is given. The standing order says, for the purposes of these standing orders, rise in his place shall mean, and it gives 2 situations here as amendments. A, in relation to a senator physically present, that is present in the chamber, rising in his place to which he has been assigned. And B, in relation to a senator attending virtually, raise their hand virtually as is acknowledged by the president or senator in the chamber, using the raise hand feature, of course, in the platform. Rules of debate, standing order number 31.2. Again, about being seen if 2 or more senators rise or raise their hands virtually at the same time, etc., etc., the president shall call upon who first catches his eye. And goes on then to insert present virtually or physically in all of the relevant areas in 31.2. Standing order number 8, an insertion. No senator attending virtually will be recognized by the president or speaker in the chair unless he can be both seen and heard by the president or senator presiding. So that you need to be seen in order to be heard. Standing order number 9. A senator must dress and conduct himself with the same decorum as if he were in the chamber. And you know there is decorum for how we dress ourselves here. Standing order number 10. A senator moving a motion or speaking a reply must be physically present in the chamber. Standing order number 32. Right of reply. And this inserts basically in the existing standing order that speaks about the move of a motion or reply after all of the senators, etc. And it inserts physically or virtually in the appropriate places there to make it a truly hybrid situation. Interruptions, standing order number 33. No senator shall interrupt another senator except by raising on a point of order because raising on the point of order is physically, you're here, inserting as an amendment, or by showing his or her hand, whereupon the senator speaking shall resume his seat, etc., etc., etc. So the way that we take the points of order and other accepted points of interruption. At which point, of course, the president and so on shall do what our chairman shall do what they need to do. Standing order number 37, rules for members not speaking. A senator present, virtually or physically in the Senate during the debate, shall have his microphone on mute, shall have video on the virtual background supplied by Parliament. So if you're not in your place, if you're in your place, it has to be under those conditions. Rules of order, number 38, responsibility for order in the Senate and in committee. 38.2, existing standing order starts when the president or chairman rises, any senator, and the insertion here is whether in the chamber physically or virtually. And it continues on as before, then speaking or wishing to speak shall immediately resume his seat or unmute or mute his microphone as the case may be. So essentially, if the president rises, those who are speaking speak no more and take their place. As is the case now, but we just add in again through these minor insertions, but for clarity on being in virtual presence. Order number 39, order in the Senate and in committee, and it inserts the appropriate places matters relating to the virtual aspect of the sitting. And then the matter of voting, decision of questions, standing order number 40. And this basically speaks to, I quote it, 41 reads as follows: except as provided by the Constitution in these standing orders, all questions proposed for decision in the Senate or in committee shall be determined by a majority of votes of those present and voting. And it inserts in between present and voting, either physically or virtually. Again, no loss of voting rights because of virtual presence. Standing order 42 on divisions, and it inserts following: every senator present, physically or virtually, unless he has expressly says that he declines to vote, shall record his vote either for the ayes or the noes. The clerk shall enter in the minutes or proceedings the record of each senator's vote, and shall add a statement of the names of senators who declined to vote. And that is the proposed insertion. So physically or virtually, you need to record a vote or a recorded that you haven't voted. So those were the proposed amendments to the standing orders. So the committee met again today, Wednesday, the 3rd of December, to approve the aforementioned amendments to the standing orders of the Honorable Senate to facilitate hybrid sittings. On the motion of Senator Honorable Lisa Cummings, seconded by Senator Kevin Boyce, the amendments were approved. The committee is therefore pleased to present the amendments as that of worthy commendation and supports the adoption by the Honorable the Senate, and signed by me today's date. Just a note on procedure before I put the question: these will need to be the subject of a formal vote to amend the standing orders as a separate exercise of which due notice will be given. What is being asked of today is for the adoption of the committee's report. And if that receives the approval of the Senate, then we're able to put the matters of the amendment to perhaps our next sitting. And if they're approved, then that becomes those become the standing orders to the Honorable, the amended standing orders of the Honorable the Senate. So the question is that the report of the Standing Orders Committee, dated this 3rd of December 2025, be adopted. Those honorable senators in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those against, please say no. The thanks, the ayes have it. This report is therefore adopted by the Honorable the Senate. Like I said, we will circulate the proposed amendments and the necessary, go through the necessary process for approving them as being the amended standing orders of the Honorable the Senate, so that we can proceed with hybrid sit-ins. I can tell you that the not having that hasn't so much been felt in how the Senate itself is operated, but because there's so many joint select and joint standing committees, it has been a challenge where the committees have used or wanted to use hybrid formats, but whereas the standing orders of the House had facilitated that, the standing orders of the Senate had not explicitly facilitated, and some senators felt that they were not in a position to participate in a manner not having the blessing of the standing orders of this particular chamber. So therefore, rectifying this matter will certainly enable a lot more flexibility and fluidity in the operation of the numerous committees which now involve members of both houses. So we hope that when these matters come to us for formal approval, that they will obtain such approval. I want to thank the members of the Standing Orders Committee, past and present, who have worked on this document to bring it to this stage where we are today.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. That brings us to the end of government business for today, and I beg to move that this sitting of the Senate be adjourned sine die.
The question is that the Honorable Senate will now adjourn sine die. Will those honorable senators in favor please say aye? Aye. Those against please say no. Methinks the ayes have it. The Senate stands adjourned sine die.